Here's my Boomba cabocla. It is in the earlier stages of pre-molt. The abdomen's not dark yet, however the colors are fading. Instead of a nice velvety black colored legs, they're turning kind of a brownish. And the carapace is not as red. It's more of an orange color now. And the abdomen is very big, but partially just because it has a voracious appetite. But this one is very handleable, at least my particular specimen is. They could be skittish and hair flicky, but usually not one to readily bite, at least from what I've heard and observed myself. But this particular specimen has not ever given a threat posture, but has kicked hairs. But very nice tea to own. This one here is only about 3 inches. Female. So I'm very happy about that. Isn't she gorgeous? Even when she's in earlier pre-molt, she's still gorgeous. But that abdomen will probably darken up in the next month or so. But kind of a slow grower, at least mine is anyway, despite how much it eats. But what a beauty. Alright. And here's my young juvie Aphonopelma calcoides. I got this one back in 2012, I think. And it was only about a half an inch then. And now it's only 2 inches. So you see how slow growing these guys are. And they, like most tarantulas this size, they're kind of that dull color, tan color. As it gets bigger, it's going to remain tan. I like dark, light browns and dark browns. But it'll look better than it does now. But, yeah. Another cutie with a big booty. So if you want a slow-growing tarantula, this is the one for you. Doesn't eat much, though. They're not the best of eaters. But if you also want a more of a handleable tarantula, this is another good option. But as I've said lots of times in previous videos, different specimens vary with their behavior. So you may find a highly defensive calcoides, but the majority of them tend to be docile. But and this one is no exception. Alright. Here is one of the 4 Ramastola poker peas I have. I have 2 juveniles, 1 subadult. Well, maybe 2 subadults. One may be getting closer to being an adult, though. But I think this one's in pre-molt. The abdomen is getting darker. Excuse my dog as usual. Let's see his neighbors. Very beautiful. Let's see, this one's about 3 inches. Sometimes doesn't let me hold him or her. I don't know the gender of this one yet. Hasn't molted for me yet. But yeah, it can be moody. I think last time I tried to handle it, it wouldn't let me. Well, well, well. We got another molt. My Chromatopelma cyanopubescens molted. And it looks like, well, of course it just molted, so it's still not the true color of it yet. But it looks like the abdominal pattern is not completely gone yet. I don't know if you can tell on camera. The legs are probably only halfway blue. You'll be able to see that in a few days. But right now they're pretty transparent looking because it just molted probably today. So I'm going to get that molt out, and it would be really nice if I could sex this molt, because I'm just dying to know. I really hope this is a female, because the last one I had was a male, matured and died. And so it would be really nice if I could have a long-living GBB, because this is one of my, if I had to pick the top 5 favorite tarantulas, this will definitely be in the top 5. I love the GBB. So I'm going to get this molt out and see what we can do with it. And here's what I do to unwrap the molt to where I can attempt to sex it. I put it in warm soapy water, and I got me a cuticle stick kind of thing to use to peel back anything that I need to peel back in order to sex the tea, and I'll show you that later. But you put the molt in there and kind of dunk it just a little bit for a few seconds, and let it get as wet as it can, and just leave it in there for about 15 minutes or so. And that way, of course, the more fresh it is, the easier it'll be to open it up and everything. But I think this one is pretty fresh. But so there we go. All right, so hopefully we can get a good sex from it. All right. This is probably not even coming out on camera at all. It's really good if you can go ahead and open up the molt when it's actually in the water, which I was able to do. But unfortunately for me, when I looked at where you sex your tea right here between the first pair of book lungs, I did not see any kind of opening and no flap whatsoever. So either it's a very tiny flap that I just can't see with the naked eye, or it's a male. So this specimen here is only about 2.5 inches. I mean, you'd think I'd be able to sex it pretty good at that size, but I'm going to say it's a suspect male right now. Maybe next molt we'll be able to see for 100%, but this one's definitely leaning towards male. But like I said, it's probably not even coming out on camera. But so like I said, no flap whatsoever, and no gap at all. So, oh well. That's okay, because I do have a couple of people in mind that maybe I can work out a deal with, and have this guy bred after he's matured and maybe get a female baby out of it. So, alright, move on to something else. Molting season continues. My Chilobrachys cane crotchin molted. Look at that. So now this specimen is about 2 inches. How awesome is that? Looks like it just recently molted too. Well, it did, because yesterday I looked at it and it was had a huge dark abdomen. So it molted today, or overnight. Very sweet. And I have another one to show you. Check it out. Carabina versicolor molted as well. And looks like it's still the same color as it was last time. So no color changes yet. And now this one here is about 1.5 inches now. Cute as all get out. Very sweet. Just wanted to show you guys. I am ecstatic. Another molt. This is the Pseudohopalopus spinulopopus. I am thrilled to death. Another molt. Can you believe it? And this one molted, let's see, pretty recently, because you can see the legs still look quite see-through. Really neat. So we'll give this one more of a drink and let it rehydrate, and maybe I could do something with that molt because it's a pretty good size too. So let's see. I'm working on sexing these molts here. Here's the GBB one. I've already told you is a suspect male. And this one here, I will go ahead and say it's a confirmed male. This is the Pseudohopalopus spinulophus. That one looks to be 100% male. And the Chilobrachys cancrochin I cannot molt because it's just too twisted up. Can't even untwist it. It's bad. And the versicolor here is not turning out too good either, just because it's so small and it's twisted up too. But I'm going to give the versicolor a little more time to double check. Alright. Alright guys, I don't know what in the world is going on with this one. This is my giant African centipede. Scientific name escapes me. So I think it's molting, if it's not dead. It has this jelly-like stuff. You see right there coming out of it? And I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's like the outer skin or... I don't know, guys. It's been in that position for, let's see, how many days? 3 days? Maybe? Hasn't moved at all. So I don't know what's happening. If it's still molting. I've heard that it could take weeks for these guys to molt. Am I correct, for those of you who know your millipedes? So perhaps it's still alive? I'm not really sure on that. So I'm just going to leave it alone and see what happens. But it's just kind of stayed like that. And unfortunately, I did move it the other day because I didn't realize what was going on at the time. And I thought, oh no, is it dead? And I moved it, and I hope that didn't stress it out. And, you know, I hope I didn't kill it by doing that. It wasn't burrowed, though. It was on the surface. So I didn't move it around much, but I'm wondering about what's going on with it. My suspicion is that it's in the process of molting, but I have no clue if it's alive or dead, and I don't want to mess with it enough to find out right now. So, you know, let me know your thoughts. Alright? Here's my Scolopendrus alternans. You don't really see this one very often, because this one, unlike the subspineps, stays burrowed a whole bunch. But just wanted to give you a look of that one, so that way you can see how big it is. I'd say this one's about 3 inches right now. And just like with the subspineps, it's going to get huge. So, I just was looking in the enclosure to make sure it was still alive, and lo and behold it is. Alright. I was doing some maintenance on my Poeclotheri rufilata enclosure, and she's out in plain view, or he, I don't know the gender on this one. So just wanted to show them off because they are indeed lookers, and this one is highly skittish, of course. So figured I'll catch it now while it's in a calm moment. But there you go, red slate ornamental. Very cool. They get as large as the ornatas do. Very large. If you want large pokies, get you an ornata or a rufilata. Alright. Alright guys, I'm going to just kind of give you a brief show of my Tarantula Corner. I do not have a woman cave necessarily because I don't have a big enough house for a woman cave. So this is, instead of my tarantula room, this is my Tarantula Corner. Well, here's some teas right here on this desk that's got some drawers in it, and I keep like tarantula materials in there, upkeep materials in there, and just miscellaneous crap. Up there, we got, let me stand up here. Up here, you got my Euophlys species green. There, you got the Theraphosa sturmey that I'll be giving to my friend. Here's Large Marge, Mother Theraphosa sturmey, keeping her, of course. Ephebopus udamen, Muranus, that's where the cobalt blue is. Here's where I keep my babies. And yeah, I have a lava lamp. Keep my babies. There's the Scolopendra subspineps. The big scorpion. The H. spinifers in there. Camera dry, my large one that has a huge appetite. More babies, and there's even more like way down there. Have another full shelf here full of teas. Euophlys species blue. One I never see. One of my porteries. Peruvians. Brachypelma vagans in there somewhere. Salmopoeis erminia. Triniochilus murinus right there. That's where my H. gigas is. Boomba cabocula. And the Vitellius paranaensis. That big tub down there is full of my hermit crabs. I only have 5 of them right now. One of my pulchripes, Acimani, Thrixopelma ockerti, Pac-Man frog in there somewhere. Where'd he go? Oh, he buried himself completely. I guess he didn't want that worm. Okay, more teas over here. Salmopoeis camerdrae, the LPs, Geniculata, Portery, another LP, Chicoana, Nandu carapoensis, Agacephala zendami, Kluge, Zenitha imanis, you can't see, is way in the back. Formictopus is hiding. Acimani still in pre-molt. Nandu chromatis. Nandu Colorado velocis way up there. Grambostola pulchripes, Albopilosum in there somewhere. Just a bunch of disorganized stuff. My little water fountains there. Radio. So I'm not completely satisfied with the way things are around here. I got some more organizing, and I like lights, you know, and stuff like that. So that's just kind of a quick view of my corner. Let me stand over here. So yes, this here is my entire Tarantula Corner. There we go. And there's where I sit and chill and read books or whatever. So there you have it. Alright.